Yeah, evolution doesn't function until life already exists. So it's an entire non sequitur to bring up origin at all.
The reason I have to do that is because on every single university campus that I've spoken on for the past 39 years, some students and occasionally some faculty have argued that the reason they are an atheist is because evolution explains everything.
That's stupid. Sorry.
I happen to agree with you.
As someone who doesn't believe in God, that's a terrible position.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But I mean, and then like a little bit further along in that conversation, we were talking about how altruism cannot be explained by evolution, by contrast, and I do disagree with that.
Okay.
This kind of ties in a few different points that have been made, so sorry, bear with me. So you brought up that if this thing is just a chemical reaction in our brain and that it's not real,
right,
et cetera, to me, if our experience of reality is based on chemical reactions in our brain, regardless of whether God exists or not, that's still a real feeling. I still really love my mom, and the knowledge that interacting with her increases the serotonin and oxytocin in my brain doesn't change the fact that I genuinely love her, because those chemical reactions are my experience of this thing we call reality.
Okay, when you say, I love my mom,
yes,
who's the I and what is love?
I am the being that exists inside of this body, and the love is just the interactions, the emotional response I have to her in the regards of how I feel how I should respond to her actions, my consideration for her well-being in my daily life, like how I go about my relationship with her is what that love is.
Okay. I would argue that if there is no God, the person who believes that is limiting reality to matter and energy.
Okay.
Which means there is no I that is separate from the chemicals.
I agree.
Okay? So I is not a person, I is chemicals.
I am a person composed of chemicals.
That's all. You're just your chemicals, right?
I have yet to find sufficient reason to believe otherwise.
Okay.
I am leaving room open because I know I don't know everything. I leave room open to change my mind.
Okay, well, I respect that. I hope that's true for me as well, right? We want to follow wherever the evidence leads.
I didn't mean to imply that you don't.
Oh, no, I know you did. It's a delight talking with you, sir. I really appreciate it, okay? All right. My experience and observation is that my wife does not have to love me.
Agreed.
The amazing thing about my wife is that she chooses to love me in spite of the way I misbehave at times. I would insist that that is a free decision my wife makes.
Okay.
I would insist that my dad did not have to spend time with me and love me. Yeah. My dad could have been a deadbeat dad. Mm-hmm. My dad could have lost his life in the business world in Manhattan where he worked, the way a lot of my classmates' dads did, and ignore me the same way my buddies' dads ignored them. They got up early in the morning, went into Manhattan, came back late at night, didn't spend time with their kids, didn't really have any interest in it. Kind of a negligent dad. My dad chose to spend time with me, to love me. I would insist he didn't have to.
Yeah.
All right? Let's say that I see a guy walking around the corner of that building. He's got a little bit of balding hair, got a big stack of books under one arm, and when I see him, I haul back and hit him as hard as I can. I'm hauled into a court of law, and the judge says, Cliff, what did you do? That was a professor. He was walking around the corner with his books, going to class, and you just haul back and hit him? And if I were to say, Your Honor, when I was a little kid, my dad had a little bit of hair, and he would abuse me by picking up a book and slapping me over the head. And when I saw that professor, he just so reminded me of my dad that I had to haul back and hit him. See, the legal system in the United States is based on the freedom of the individual to choose. And the judge is going to look me in the face and say, well, Cliff, I'm sorry that your father abused you that way, but you had no right to slam a professor because he reminded you of your abusive dad. And here's the penalty. See, that's based on a view of humankind that says you're not just a complex chemical reaction, you're a human being with a free will, which means you are responsible for the decisions you make.
To me, being a conglomeration of chemical reactions doesn't take away from the fact that there are consequences to our actions. Like I don't see how those things are mutually exclusive, or how that's answering the question of what love is.
I'm sorry. The only thing that's mutually exclusive is if I'm just chemicals, I don't have a free will. I just do what my chemicals program me to do. It's the behaviorism of B.F. Skinner.
And part of the chemical reactions in the process of your brain to reach the results that you enact with your body is the laws of the land, the things that we have decided as a society are acceptable. So, sorry, I am admittedly jumping to the end to kind of reel it back in. Because I've heard this argument several times of if we don't accept free will, if we're just chemical reactions, we can't hold anyone accountable for their actions. But for me, the reactions in your brain aren't just rely on the input of information, your processing of that, your input of whether it's sight, sound, etc., and your processing of that information. And part of that information you're processing is what is socially acceptable in this interaction. And
I would insist, if you're honest and look at your life, it's your relationships with people that are based on free will that are the most exciting things in your life. And I would insist, if the young lady who you've been dating and has said, I love you, if your dad calls you up tonight and says, I have been paying him $1,000 a week to love you, I don't think you're going to sit back and say, oh, that's cool. I don't think so.
Yeah, because you entirely changed the situation.
No, I think there's more to it than that. Come on, man. You know very well that you treasure love. And if love is paid for by your dad for someone to love you, that is going to radically alter your relationship.
I got a question right there.
Yes, sir.
You say we got free will and all that.
Right.
Why is it that every time something bad happens, people consider that evil, but when something good happens, that's something from God?
No, sir. If I feed her lunch, I did a good deed. If I smack her, that's an evil deed.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
Because she's a precious human being created in the image of God. Not because she's Asian. She's not valuable because she's Asian. She's valuable because she's a human being created in the image of God. And God don't make junk. He makes human beings. And if I degrade her, that's evil.
But listen, you just said earlier that God separated the people. Right?
What?
You said
I never said that.
You said he has people over here, and then there's people over here. You said you switched it up.
No, I didn't. You misunderstood. All right? I never said that once. I said all human beings, be they Mexican, Caucasian, Latino, African American, African, we all have value. Why? Not because our culture says we have value. That's a ridiculous argument. We're valuable because God created us in His image, and God don't make junk. He makes precious, valuable human beings.
So then why are there children dying, at such a young age in, poorer countries? I mean, why are there people experiencing so much more suffering than, we are here? I mean, we're very blessed to be here today. We're not blessed in the image of God. I mean, we're living a better life than a lot of poor children dying in Africa. I mean, why are we more valuable than them in God's eyes? Or are we not? Please correct me if you disagree.
I would strongly disagree with you that all Westerners are living better lives than all Africans or South Americans.
Really?
I think that's really absolutely wrong.
Wait, let's take an average and then answer his question.
Okay, I am convinced that material wealth is not an accurate description or a way to evaluate a successful life.
What about lifespan?
All right. What about lifespan?
Yeah, is that an accurate way to measure standard of living of
A standard of living, yes. But the value of a human life, the success of a human life, absolutely no way. And you see, that is one of the contradictions between Jesus and our culture. You're right. Our culture says you're valuable, you've got a successful life if you're comfortable and if everything's convenient.